Hi everyone, it's Marlene here, and it's Zaffo there in the background, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day with blue skies, with white clouds, a little bit of gray clouds, but look at that, that way, clear blue skies, and it's cold, so there are two options when it's cold, either to get in and sit in the chair and turn on the heat, or go outside and do a little bit of work. And I chose the latter because it is a very, very nice day. And we have to get to stacking. Now, I am going to turn this around. Just a minute. And I bet a lot of you have seen the round stack. And I promised you I would show you how to build it. So I have now started the other round stack. Now if I go around it, you will perhaps be able to see that I have made a circle of stones, as circular as it gets when it's just by eye, you know. I took the center of a place that I could see had room enough for it. There's a little tree there, there's a little tree there. This was the best place. I put a stick in the center and measured out 1 meter that way, 1 meter that way, and that way, and that way. And I put some cornerstones, if you can say cornerstones, on a circle, and put more and more out with 2 meters in between, and a circle took form. Then I filled it up. Stones from over there, that hill, put them in a wheelbarrow, drove them over here, and put them out in this circle. Now the ground is not level, so it's going to sink a little bit to that end. But you know what? I don't think it matters, because I'll just compensate by putting more wood on when I make the circle. Now the first time I saw one of these made was when social media was just beginning. It was just a thing. And some Danish guys, some TV personalities who make a lot of outdoor kind of videos, very, very nice programs, but they wanted to make one of these stacks, and they said you had to be very, very, very precise, and you put a stake in the middle with a string on it that is exactly 1 meter, and you have to use that measuring string every time you put a piece of wood down, so that it gets exactly 1 meter around. And that's a little bit of bollocks, because that's not where you have to be meticulous. Where you have to be meticulous is that you have to make each piece lie very firmly. Now I put this mesh on. I cut 2 meters and another 2 meters, and I put them crisscross on each other. I have that mesh because of, if you can see it over there, there's a roll of it lying there. Old fencing from my neighbor that he wanted to get rid of, and asked if I could use it, and I said, I'm sure I can, just give me. So I'm using it for this. And when you put down a piece of wood, you can see this is actually a bit wobbly now, but I put the pieces down so that they interlock with each other. They fall to the tit, as we say. Now this little piece is very small, but it's very even at that one side. So I just let it lie there, because I'm going to use it later. When these pieces, if they slide too much outwards, then when I'm building up and building up and building up, then I can't really regulate that. Then I have these smaller pieces, and I put them here across, and then I have a new stable basis to put the next pieces of wood on. That's how I do it. And when I made the outer circle here, I make one more circle inside, and I start doing that at the same time because it's easier to reach when you do that. And this one on the inside does not have to be as perfect. It's okay if there's a gap there. It doesn't have to be filled out, because it's not really gonna carry the load of it. But you make one more round, and in the middle, as you can see, I already have begun all the uneven pieces that you don't want to stack. That gets in the center of it. If it's now, it's very nice pieces I have made here, I must admit, but I can try to find one just to illustrate, which is perhaps a bit wonky and you can't really make it fit, or it's even more curly than this. Just throw them in the middle, just completely randomly, because the center won't be that thick. You can see that with one round and one more round. There will be a little center in here, and we'll just fill all the wonky pieces in there. And at the end, you get up there. And in the meantime, I will fill up, make the walls straight up until they meet my hip height, more or less here. You just turn it around for measurement that I fill up until I reach hip height, and then I start going inwards. If I go up further, then I won't be able to reach up here at the end, and I need that. I did that one year where I thought, well, I just fill up. Oh, it's uneven, I'll fill up. So it was up to here on me, and that had the result that I needed a ladder and moved the ladder around and had to go up and down the ladder to put pieces up at the top. I'm never doing that again. It's stupid. You have to do it from the ground. And actually it carries 7 cubic meters when I build it like this. When it's 2 meters in diameter, there's about 7 cubic meters, loose cubic meters. Like, turn around again. Like this, when it's just tossed like this or like this. 7 cubic meters of that goes into a round stack like this. And that's just about, in other measurements, 2 quarts. Yeah, just about 2 quarts. 2 quarts and a little more. That can be in a space of 2 by 2 meters, 6 feet times 6 feet. This is 6 feet in diameter. And that's very compact, and that's very nice. Now, it's not meant to dry out the wood. The wood has been lying here all through the summer to dry out. And it's stacked upon pieces of wood and a long line of that mesh. So it's not in contact with the ground at any time. You can see it here where I've started emptying. That is up above the ground. And the wind can get to it from all sides, and the sun can get to it from all sides when it's just loosely tossed like this. That's for seasoning and for drying out. This one is simply for stacking and to keep it. And it's easy to cover it. It's easier to cover this one than it is to cover all of this every time the rain comes. And this one is for disturbances in the job, because she just wants me to throw the stick again and again and again. And I'll do that. Oh, I can drop it as well. But you have to sit when I throw it, because if this one hits you, or you catch it with your mouth, then you're a toothless dog. Sit. Sit. Sit properly. Yes, please. Stay. Nej, bliv. Go. She's fast as lightning. And then I have 10 seconds of work time until she... No. Finish. Lie sit. Lie sit means play on your own. And she can do that a little bit when I tell her. So that's the principles of a round stack. That you make the outer circle and the inner circle, and you pack them close together so that they fall to the tit. You don't need to be a lot more precise than that. When I have come to a certain height, I have if she hasn't eaten all of them, I have some of these sticks, and if I don't have enough, I'll just make new ones. I have small trees all over the place, and I can just cut them down, made out of spruce trees. And when we get to a certain height, I put them across. Now I'll turn you around again. I put them across in here. Not yet, this is just for demonstration. But then I'll put them in here, across from this side and all the way over to the other side. You can see this one is too short, but it'll go into the pieces of wood on the other side. And then I'll have another one going that way, and maybe a third one going that way. And that stabilizes it. And that was my good neighbor, Gunnar, who taught me that trick. And that makes it, because if you make that inner circle a little bit too close to the outer circle, they can start push it instead of just being stable. If you don't make it stable from the beginning, it can start to slide with all the weight. You can see there's a lot of weight on top, and it comes from the inside of the stack as well. And if you don't do that properly, then a whole wall section will start sliding and take it out, and then you'll have a ravine going out there, and it's just not nice. I've done it, so I know it. But when you put sticks crisscross in here, they kind of bind it together. It's like having an anchor in a brick house. When you build the tall brick walls of barns or stables, you very often see from outside that these curly pieces of iron, mostly at the top of it, they're anchors going through the walls. They're not like anchored to anything on the other side, but having these things going through a thing from here and a thing there, a wall. This is a wall of wood that I'm making in the stack, and just combining them a little bit with a pole or three just stabilizes it so much more. So all that precision male pro I'm sorry, but they were feeling very, very manly doing that. Night? No. And I thought it had to be that way. And then I tried making one, and I thought, I'm not gonna spend that much time doing it that way. I'm just gonna try making one. And it turned out that it was extremely stable. And I made one year that was more chili stille Zaffo. No. I made one year that was more an oval than a circle, and it was fine. It worked out fine. Sit. Blue. Go. And it worked out fine. What you need to do is to have the wood, each piece of wood, be very careful to put them so that they don't wobble and are wonky, and you think, well, I'll just correct that in the next round. No, you will not. It will slide. So make sure that you put it really good and tight, and it stays where it should stay, like when you're stacking wood in any other way. So that's a bit of an introduction. There'll be another video when I'm a bit further gone, but for now that'll be all, and I wish you all a very productive or relaxing Sunday, and I wish you all well. See you on the next one. Bye bye.